Good afternoon, everyone. Let us start. Today we shall start the last chapter of your NCERT textbook, Fundamentals of Physical Geography. So now let me present my screen. So we have chapter 16, Biodiversity and Conservation. Now let us start. Am I connected?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So biodiversity, as you have learned earlier, okay, it refers to the variety of life found in a place on earth, or often it refers to the total variety of life on the earth. Okay, it refers to the variety of life found on the surface of the earth. And you know, biodiversity is the resultant input, okay, of solar energy and water. Biodiversity is because of solar energy and water. And see, in the box we have some information. Biodiversity, as we have today, is the result of 2.5 to 3.5 billion years of evolution. That means the biodiversity that we are seeing today is the result of 2.5 to 3.5 billion years evolution. That means biodiversity is the result of evolution. Before the advent of humans, our earth supported more biodiversity than in any other period since the emergence of humans. However, biodiversity has begun to rapid decline, with one species after the another bearing the burden of extinction due to overuse. That means because of the human activities, some of the species on the Earth's surface have been extinct. The number of species globally vary from 2 million to 100 million, with 10 million being the best estimate. And new species are regularly discovered, and most of which are yet to be classified. Okay, that means human beings are not able to identify all the species found on the Earth's surface. Still, discovery is going on, and most of the species on the Earth's surface are also not identified and are not classified. And an estimate states that about 40% of freshwater fishes from South America are not classified yet. That means yet to be discovered. 40% of freshwater fishes from South America are yet to be classified. And we know that tropical forests are very rich in biodiversity. As we learned earlier, biodiversity is the resultant effect of solar energy and water. So this sunshine and water is abundant in tropical areas, and that is why biodiversity is very rich in tropical forests. And again, it is mentioned here, biodiversity is a system in constant evolution. Evolution is still going on from a viewpoint of species, as well as from a viewpoint of an individual organism. All the organisms, then all the species on the Earth's surface are on the process of evolution. The average half-life of a species is estimated at between 1 and 4 million years. The average half-life of a species is between 1 and 4 million years, and 99% of the species that have ever lived on the surface of the earth are today extinct. That means biodiversity is in constant evolution, and that is why some of the species will be extinct and new species may be coming up. Biodiversity is found unevenly on the earth. That means biodiversity is not found evenly, not uniform. It is consistently richer in the tropics, as mentioned earlier, and as one approaches the polar regions, one finds larger and a larger population of fewer and fewer species. That means if you approach the polar region, the variety of species will be less. And so here biodiversity itself is a combination of two words, that is bio means life, diversity means variety. The literal meaning. So in simple terms, biodiversity is the number and variety of organisms found within a specified geographic region. So biodiversity refers to the number and the variety of organisms found within a specified geographical region, and it refers to the varieties of plants, animals, microorganisms, the genes they contain, and the ecosystem they form. So biodiversity refers to varieties of plants, animals, and microorganisms. It relates to the variability among the living organisms on the earth, including the variability within the and between the species, and that within and between the ecosystem. So biodiversity relates to the variability among living organisms on the earth, including the variability within and between the species, and that within and between the ecosystem. So that means variability may be among the living organisms, variability may be among the species, variability may be within the ecosystem also, or between the ecosystems also. There will be variabilities. Then biodiversity is our living wealth, and it is a result of hundreds of millions of years of evolutionary history. So this is about the concept of biodiversity. In simple terms, biodiversity means the number and the variety of organisms found in a region. It refers to the number and the varieties, means types of organisms found in a particular region. So this is the meaning of biodiversity. Are you clear? Any question from your side regarding this meaning of biodiversity? Again, let me repeat. Biodiversity refers to the number and the variety of organisms found within a specified geographical regions. And these variabilities may be these among the living organisms, then between these among or within the species, then within and between the ecosystem. Variability may be found in an ecosystem, or it may be found between the two ecosystems also. And you must know that this biodiversity is the result of this evolution. So let us proceed. Biodiversity can be discussed at 3 levels. Okay, genetic diversity, then species diversity, and ecosystem diversity. That means biodiversity can be measured in 3 ways. Okay, genetic, species, and ecosystem. So the first one is genetic diversity. Okay, so genes, are the building blocks of various life forms. Genes are the building blocks of basic building blocks of various life forms. And genetic biodiversity refers to the variation, okay, refers to the variation of genes within the species. Genetic biodiversity refers to the variation of genes within the species. So within the species also you will find variations of genes. Okay, the building block of life. Say the here species, meaning of species given here, the group of individual organisms having certain similarities in their physical characteristics are called species. Okay, species means groups of individual organisms having certain similarities in their physical characteristics. Okay, groups of individual organisms having certain similarities in their physical characteristics are called species. For example, human beings. Okay, human beings are genetically belong to Homo sapiens group and also differ, okay, in their characteristics such as height, color, physical appearance, etc. considerably. Okay, and this is due to genetic diversity. See, among human beings, okay, among human beings we find differences in height, differences in color, differences in eye, okay, behavioral traits, then resistance to various diseases. So why do we find such differences? This is because of genetic diversity. Okay, the color of a person is different from another person. Some are white, some are black. Okay, and say for the hairstyles also, some persons have straight and some have curly. Why it is so? This is due to genetic diversity. So this is due to the variations in the genes. Okay, and about the variations of the plants. Okay, genetic variation of plants. Genetic variety within a plant species may include the differences in the individual plants that confer resistance to diseases. So among the plants also, see, when we grow crops, some of the crops are very much resistant to diseases and some are not. Why this so? This is due to differences, okay, in the genes, means genetic diversity. Okay, and this genetic diversity is essential for a healthy breeding of population of species. Okay, so genetic diversity is essential for a healthy breeding, for the healthy production of the population of a particular species. Okay, see here about the ways of measurement of biodiversity. We have this diagram. Okay, so here, so this is the diagram. First let us see, and here just see the index. Okay, here this symbol shows represent species. Okay, and the second one, this one shows a unique ecosystem, and this greenish line, thick line, shows regional boundary, okay, of ecosystem. And we're learning about genetic this diversity. Okay, genetic diversity means okay, total variety of genes within a single species. Okay, total variety of genes, total variety of genes within a single species. So here we have a species, and within this species, okay, we find variations in genes, and that is known as genetic diversity, as I have given you an example of human beings. Okay, and among us we find so many differences in color, height, and this is due to genetic diversity. Okay, are you clear? Any question regarding genetic diversity?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then next one we have species diversity. Meaning of species you have learned earlier. Okay, species refer to a group of individual organisms having similarities in the physical characteristics. Okay, and species diversity refers to the variety of species. Species diversity refers to the variety of species, to different types of species, and it relates to the number of species in a defined area. Species diversity is related to the number of species, okay, in a defined area, in a particular area. How many types of species are there in a particular area? That is known as species diversity. Okay, and a species diversity can be measured through its richness, then abundance, and the types. Okay, the diversity of species can be measured through its richness, abundance, and the types. Okay, just see here about the species diversity. Okay, see here, species richness, then means the total number of species within an area. So within this particular area, okay, just see, this is the boundary. So within this area, I mean, see here, within this area, how many species are there? Okay, that is known as species diversity. Okay, species diversity refers to the variety of species, and it can be measured through its richness, abundance, and the types. And we know that some areas are more rich in the species than others. Okay, and areas rich in species diversity are called hotspots of diversity. Areas rich in species diversity are called hotspots of diversity, and figure number 16.5 shows the same. So here we have this figure number 16.5, and this map shows the ecological hotspots of the world. Okay, for example, here we have this eastern Himalaya, then western Ghats. Okay, in Tamil Nadu we have Singharaja forest, then Indonesian area, okay, then peninsular Malaysia, then northern Borneo, and so on. Okay, here we have Queensland in Australia, Melanesia in New Caledonia, then eastern Madagascar. Okay, just read it, and this map is also very important for the exam also. And here we have Upper Guinean forest, then Eastern Arc Mountains, then Central American lowland forest, then highland forest, okay, Western Ecuador and Colombian Choco, then tropical Andes, then Atlantic forest, Brazil. So these are some of the ecological hotspots on the Earth's surface. And we have one more map, and okay, this map also shows hotspots of biodiversity, and this is a more detailed one, okay, taken out from Encyclopedia Britannica. Okay, it is also mentioned. Okay, and here also we have this California floristic province. Okay, then Madrian pine oak woodlands. Okay, we have Japan. Japan is also very rich in biodiversity. Okay, then Caucasus mountains and so on. Okay, and see about the species diversity. As I told you, it refers to the species richness. Okay, or it is also referred to the count of species in an area. It refers to the count of species in an area. How many species are there in a particular area? That is what we call species diversity. Colombia and Kenya, for example, we have seen the map. Okay, each have more than 1,000 breeding species of birds, whereas the forests of Great Britain and eastern North America are home to fewer 200 species only. Okay, a coral reef of northern Australia may have these 500 species of fish. Just see the map. Okay, just see here in this area, northern Australia. Okay, or we may see the another map also. Just see here, Queensland area, this area. Okay, this coral reef of the northern Australia may have 500 species of fish, while the rocky shorelines of Japan, okay, see here, rocky shorelines of Japan may be home to only 100 species. Okay, that means see, as mentioned in the book, some areas, okay, remember this point, some areas are more rich in species than others, and about it I'm giving examples. Okay, I'm giving examples about this statement. Okay, Colombia and Kenya, for example, have more number of species. Okay, here Colombian, this area. Okay, this area, then Kenya, this African country. Okay, here have more than 100 breeding species of birds. So this is about species diversity. And the last one is the ecosystem diversity. Okay, and about the meaning of ecosystem we have learned earlier, and the meaning of ecosystem diversity is given here. So ecosystem diversity is the broad differences between ecosystem types and diversity of habitats and ecological processes occurring within each ecosystem type constitute the ecosystem diversity. The broad differences between ecosystem types and diversity of habitats. Habitat means the home of these organisms, and ecological processes occurring within each ecosystem type constitute the ecosystem diversity. Just see here, here ecosystem diversity is given here. Okay, here this is an area. Okay, this is an area on the earth surface, and how many ecosystems are there in this area is given here. See, ecosystem diversity refers to the total number of ecosystems in the region. So in this particular region, okay, in this particular region, how many ecosystems are there? And that is what we call ecosystem diversity. Okay, see here, here we have a unique ecosystem here. Okay, and we have another one here, another one. Okay, these are unique ecosystems. Okay, and here, and and so it tells the ecosystem diversity. Okay, ecosystem diversity refers to the variety of ecosystems that species create. I think internet connection was lost, so let me present. Okay, we have been talking about ecosystem diversity, and ecosystem diversity refers to the variety of ecosystems that species create, okay, or the range of ecological communities that species form. And see here in this case also, the boundaries of communities and ecosystem are not rigidly defined. Okay, we cannot define the boundaries of ecosystem in a region, okay, sharply. Sometimes overlapping may be there. Okay, so demarcation of ecosystem boundaries is difficult and a complex one. And a common approach to quantifying this type of diversity is to record the variety of ecological communities an area may contain. Okay, it is generally accepted that an area having say both forests and prairies, that is grassland, is more diverse than the one with forest alone, because each of these assemblies is expected to house different species. Then we see in an area having forest and a grassland, you will find more varieties of ecosystems as compared to a region which is occupied only by the forest. That is the point mentioned here. Okay. Remember, ecosystem diversity means, this is the summary. Okay, ecosystem diversity means total number of ecosystems in the region. Total number of ecosystems in the region. How many ecosystems are there in a region? That is what I call ecosystem diversity. Then genetic diversity means total variety of genes within a single species. Then species diversity, it refers to the total number of species within an area. Okay, total number of species within an area. And this figure number 16.1 shows an example of ecosystem diversity. Okay, grasslands and sholas in Indira Gandhi National Park, Annamalai, Western Ghats. So Annamalai is a hill range in the Western Ghats. Okay, and this is an example of ecosystem diversity. So many ecosystems are there in this Annamalai hill range. Sholas means a temperate forest. Okay. So are you clear? Any question regarding this?
No, sir.
Okay, then let us stop here for today. Thank you very much for joining my class.
Thank you, sir.
And